Guys, do I look tired and frustrated to you? Well, that's because I am. I just spent a whole hour on Register Compass trying to find a non-spammed .com or .net domain, and you know what? I couldn't find one. And why is that? Well, it's because .com and .net have historically been the favorites for spammers and also for SEOs. And basically, there's been a lot of SEOs who have, juiced up their PBN sites with GSA, with Magic Submitter, SENuke, and it really leaves behind a lot of spam domains. So, what are we to do as SEOs? We need our good domains, we need our PBNs to rank. So basically what we need to do is we need to think outside of the box, right? We can't do what everybody else is doing. Otherwise, there's just going to be crazy auction prices that keep going up, which is what you see right now. There's going to be everybody competing for the same domains. So a solution that I found is to go for different TLDs, right? Not just .com and .net. And there's some crazy powerful domains out there with really, really clean link profiles and really powerful backlinks. And it's because nobody else has been going for these, right? So today I'm going to show you guys all the different TLDs that we can go for. If there's any restrictions on them in terms of registration, are they more expensive than .com and .net? Most of the time they aren't. So today, guys, I'm going to show you all the different TLDs, the different gem domains that you can get out there. So let's head on over to my computer and let's go check it out. Hi guys, this is Steve here again. So like I mentioned, what I want to talk to you guys about today is really escaping the .com, net, and org bubble, because a lot of these domains are heavily spammed and it's very, very hard to find good ones, and they're also very expensive, the good ones that you do find. So I'm going to give you an overview of the different TLDs out there, the good ones that you can pick up for good prices. So why do you want to escape? Well, like I mentioned, everybody's going after the same prize right now. Everybody's going after .coms and .nets because they feel that Google values them more. They're the only ones that they can use to rank, which is completely false. And you're going to end up paying crazy prices at the auctions because of this. Also, because people have used them a lot historically, there's a lot of spam going to them. It takes a lot of time to really filter through and find a good one. So basically, by always going after these, you're wasting your time and ultimately your sanity. You're going to be trawling through the auctions for hours with, maybe finding one or two, and it's really not an efficient use of your time. So the original gTLDs, so general TLDs, are like I mentioned, .com, net, org. Then you also have .edu, .gov, these ones. So these are all the original ones that people tend to go after because they think that because they're the first ones to come out that Google values them more. But the reality is that there's so many different TLDs coming out right now, and so many people are building websites on these new TLDs that Google can't just ignore the other ones. They can't just value .com, net, and org above all the others. If a domain is more authoritative and it's a .com, then fair enough. But it can't just disregard other TLDs, right? And just to give you an idea of how quickly this is expanding, you've got new ones coming out every day. .pizza, .taxi, .law. They're just getting so specific, and there's so many of them expanding that it would be crazy for Google to not value these because you have new ones coming out every day, new websites being built up on them every day. And then there's also ccTLDs, which is basically to do with the country that they're from. So you can see here there's a map with all the different, well, I guess there's most of them. You can't really see all of them here, but basically, most countries have a TLD that's specific to them, and sometimes there's restrictions around them, sometimes there's not. But these are really, really good ones to go after for local SEO, and also a lot of them are not restricted, so people from anywhere can register them. And I'm going to talk to you about that after. So a lot of people are worried about ranking in local SEO if they don't have the right TLDs. That it's got to be either .com, .net, or their their local or their their ccTLD if they want to rank with local SEO. But in reality, it's perfectly natural to have other TLDs linking into your site. Here I'm just mentioning, let's say there's a local dentist who has, a very good technique for, I don't know, putting on crowns on teeth, right? And he attracts attention from dentists from around the world. I mean, it would be completely natural for them to link to this dentist's website. So, I mean, in terms of worrying about local SEO, it's perfectly natural to have other TLDs ranking in. Obviously don't go 100%. I mean, if I'm ranking a site in Canada, I'm not going to take 100% UK domains to try and rank it. Of course not. I mean, there can be some .com and .net in the mix, but we don't have to exclusively go with these. And also, ccTLDs are the most ideal, I believe, for local SEO anyways. So, if you're in the US, why are people not going after .us? This is something that I don't really understand. That a lot of people from the US will seem to only go for .com, .net, and .org, and they seem to forget that they have their own ccTLD, which is .us. And, over here in Canada, I'm from Canada, and we've got .ca domains, and these are actually the most ideal. Not only for your PBNs, but if you're making local money sites as well, these are actually the most ideal. So I want to talk to you about some ccTLDs that you can register that actually have no restrictions on them, right? Now, these are exceptionally good domains to get because not a lot of SEOs or people, sending out spam have focused on them. It's kind of like when you think about PCs and Macs, right? Why do PCs have more viruses? It's because they've been around for longer, right? More people or more spammers out there focus on them and build viruses for them. Whereas, the Macs are a lot cleaner. It's the exact same thing with these ccTLDs, right? They're more under the radar and less people have paid attention to them. So there are some real gems in these. I can guarantee it. I found gems in all of these categories before. So with UK, you've got .co.uk and .org.uk. Both of these have no restrictions. All you have to do is sign up with Nominate, which is their central registry over there. And basically you sign up with them, you create an account, and then whenever you register a .co.uk or in .org or .org.uk, you just have to write in the name that you signed up with Nominate, which is usually just your name. So it'll ask for a registrant detail. You just put in that name that you signed up with Nominate with. United States, like I mentioned, you guys have .us, and me here in Canada, I'm able to freely register .us, and I'm pretty sure everybody is allowed to register .us, so there's no restrictions there. Netherlands, which is .nl, these have slightly higher registration costs, as do .co.za, which is from South Africa. I think people don't rarely recognize that .co.za is actually from South Africa. But actually, those in particular, the .co.za, I found many gems in that category. So again, it's from South Africa, so it's going to be mainly English links going to it. Netherlands, you might have higher proportion of foreign links going to it, but usually they're high quality links. Now, some ccTLDs with higher registration costs, but again, I found incredible domains in all of these categories, especially .cl, which is Chile. And you've also got .pe, which is Peru, and .cz, which is Czech Republic. Usually these vary between $30 to $50 per year registration, but in terms of the extra power that you can get from these domains, it's definitely worthwhile. I mean, there's some real gems out there. Now, some lesser known ccTLDs that also have no restrictions. .cc, which was originally for Cocos Islands, which I believe is near Australia. And this is actually free to register for anybody, right? So people from around the world register .cc, even though it was originally made for the small area. Same thing with .co. A lot of people think that this stands for company. It was actually originally for Colombia, and companies just started registering it because it's .co and it looks like it's for a company, right? Kind of like .org was originally for organizations, um, uh, kind of not necessarily governmental, but maybe nonprofit stuff like that. So .co again also free to register for anybody. And one that I've been noticing recently is .ws, which is originally for Western Samoa. And I was very, very skeptical about this at first, but it's actually usually all English links going to it. And these sites are usually amazing. And a lot of people look over them because they see that .ws and then, they might look it up. They say, oh man, it's from Western Samoa, I shouldn't get this. I'm telling you, these have some really, really good links going to them. Now, some that have restrictions on them that you should be aware of. So don't go, buying any of these domains before you know that you can register them. So .ca is exclusively for Canadian citizens. I've heard that you can get around it somehow, or that they don't actually verify it. But personally, being from Canada, I've always just signed up with my details. So you might want to look more into that. I know that if you have a friend in Canada or whatnot, you can get them to register it for you. .com.au, net.au, org.au, exclusively for Australian citizens. I have not heard of anybody getting around this, again, unless they have a friend over there. And then there's .eu, .de, .fr, and there's a couple other European Union categories. But these are exclusively for European Union citizens. And again, I've never been able to get around these. So where do we find these? Well, again, you can find this. You can find these in Register Compass all the time. I've seen .cos and .ccs and all this in there, and people just aren't bidding on them because they see those weird domain extensions, right? Also, you can just go and Google, TLD, whatever the TLD is, and domain auctions, right? It doesn't have to be through Register Compass. There's other places that have domain auctions, and there might even be, specific domain auctions for those countries that you can go check out. And most importantly, just keep your eyes open, right? Don't have your blinders on when you're looking for domains. Don't just think about .com and .net and whatnot. Just keep your eyes open. Make sure that if a domain has good backlinks, right? Take a look at the domain extension, and if you really want to get this domain and it's got great backlinks, I mean, look into the TLD. If I haven't talked about it here, I think I mentioned most of the ones that I've seen quality domains in. But keep your eyes open and don't disregard a domain just because it's not .com or .net. All right. So that's pretty much all I want to talk to you guys about. But again, I just want to recap by saying, do what other SEOs aren't doing. This is how you get yourself, a good unfair advantage, is by, thinking outside the box and do what other guys are not doing. All right. So hope you guys got some value out of this, and I really hope you guys find some great domains out there that you otherwise would have overlooked. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.